And then that was the end because we were delicious.
And then. Y'all
And
said,
then.
dude,
No and
where's
then.
my car?
No,
Yeah.
and then.
And then.
And then.
No, and then.
No,
No, and then.
and then. No.
What's up, y'all?
Okay.
This is Tracy.
And this is Cedric, and we're through the crate.
Digging through cultural and current events through the hip hop lens, and we have a very special guest with us today. This person is a phenomenal musician,
Yep.
rapper,
Yep.
singer.
Yep.
I have been nerding out for the past few weeks
Yep.
over his music. Let's just introduce him. L.A. VanGogh. What up?
VanGogh.
What is up, dude? Thank you very much for coming here. How you feeling, bro?
I feel great. This is
Yeah.
about to be really fun.
It's about to be amazeballs.
It just started.
Yeah. Well, it
It
didn't really just start.
before
Yeah, I was
we
about to say.
started, low key.
I mean,
This is what we do. This is what we do, man. We're really happy to be here, man. You know,
Me
we
too. Thank
nerding
you.
out, man. Like listening to the music, enjoying it. I don't know.
Nerding
this
out
is-
over it.
Nerding out over it.
Yeah.
You know, we know a little bit about you because we had the opportunity to meet you a few times before. Why don't you tell the people? I mean, what's
who you are?
who are you? Who is L.A. VanGogh? If they never heard of L.A. VanGogh.
Who that? Who that man right
Who
there?
that boy?
Who that?
Who
Who
that
that
boy?
boy?
Shout out
Who
Tyler.
him eels?
That is like, that's the hardest question to ask anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I would ask, who is Cedric? You really think about it like, damn, who am I? I'm a pancake.
There you go.
I'm a
Hey.
pancake.
Pancake.
Okay.
No, but I'm a musician. Don't act like we didn't have this conversation 2 minutes ago.
Ah,
The
shit.
land of milk and flour.
Right.
Nah, I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's good.
But I'm a musician from Dalton,
Mm.
Dalton,
South
okay.
Chicagoland area. It's a suburb of Chicago.
Got it.
Mhm.
And I don't know how to answer a question like
No,
that.
you know what?
There's so
It
many.
is
That's
very
cool,
open ended, so it's just not
Yeah.
like I am like that's why I was saying when I was testing the mic. These people don't know, but when I was testing the mic, I'm like I like long walks on the beach with a rifle. Like what the fuck am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
true.
mean?
It's awkward as hell. It's like if you're on like a dating site. It's like, what do you put as your description of
Right.
yourself?
Like
I
how do you
was
talk
terrible
about
at writing my
yourself?
bio.
That's
Yeah.
why I fucking hate interviews, to be honest. But
Mm.
I mean, these are I like doing this, but
Oh, you
know
mean
what
like
I
job interviews?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
like
yeah,
So,
yeah.
talk about yourself.
Tell
How
me
would you
about
make
yourself.
it?
I read an article that's like basically that's your chance to talk to them about what you have that brings like you
What
can
to
bring
bring
to
to
the
the table.
job.
Right.
Like I
But at the
just
same
figured
time,
that out
like,
last week.
nigga, you just read my resume, like,
Yeah.
but it's all good. Well, how about let's start with something a little bit easier. How about telling us about like how you got into music? Because you play the piano,
Mhm.
you sing, you rap. Like when was the first time you touched an instrument? I guess you could say, and
yeah,
then
there you go. That's a good one.
you know,
The first time I remember touching an instrument was music class.
hey,
And I went to St. Jude at the time. It's
Mhm.
Christ Our Savior now in Dalton. We had music class, and the music teacher, she would just like teach us stuff. Of course, it's music class. But when I was in 4th grade, I would say my first official instrument was the desk and the pencil.
hey,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
we
Hey,
all know about that.
Especially
That's
when
legit.
grinding
That's legit.
came out.
Exactly.
So,
Oh my, yes.
Either
Wait,
that-
hold on.
Boom, boom,
Yo.
boom.
Grinding.
Boom, boom,
Who
boom, boom.
didn't?
Indeed.
Anybody out there? If you did not pound the grinding beat
right, like
into the desk at the lunch table or piss the teacher off with you in the back of the class.
Yeah.
you know
And
what?
what's
Classic.
crazy, you saying piss the teacher off is that's what made me join band the next years because she was like, when we were able to audition or whatever for band, she was like, you should just try out for the drums. You play,
Oh, yeah,
you always making noise in my class. You should,
Yeah,
you should
y'all
play
always
the
pissing
drums.
me off in the back. Like you may as well.
Right. So
Right.
I went to the audition. I picked up the drumsticks. They had like this little pad, and I tried to do something. And I was like, "This is not the same. I can't do this."
Because if you've ever tried to play drums, like you got to hold them a certain way.
Yeah,
to
to really get the rhythm. And I was
Pads are,
like,
rubber and
Yeah.
shit and
I was like,
because it
fuck
bounces
that.
back. Like you ain't supposed to get that bounce back. I'm used to that desk.
Right, I'm used to. I'm
Like,
controlling
whoa.
this. Like I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
But and plus, I didn't have rhythm
Oh.
at the time, unless it was on the
baby.
desk.
Okay. I'm fucking with him. Sorry.
desk-centric rhythm.
Save
Got it.
rhythm now. Commercial brought to you by no.
Okay.
I ended up playing saxophone. Moral
Nice.
of the story. for a year, and I was decent. And then I just
Alto,
gave
tenor?
up. Alto.
Okay, well that's why you gave up, because you
You
weren't
guys
playing
were
the
almost,
tenor.
yeah, you guys were
You
almost
should have been playing the
bonded
tenor
right
because the
there,
tenor's the
almost.
Yeah.
best one. So
Yeah.
just saying. Well, that's cool. So that's where we have the musical. So, but then you also started playing piano. Is that something that's recent or
I started that when I was like 15.
15?
Like
Okay.
I didn't learn theory until I was 19
Oh, so
or
you had to.
20.
Really?
So everything I would play, I just learned the keys. I
Okay.
Mhm.
took a permanent marker
Hey.
and I put all the notes on the keyboard.
Okay.
And I didn't like really do any, I guess, scales or anything. More
Mhm.
so what I did is I would go on YouTube and try to find one of my favorite songs and be like, I want to learn how to play that.
God, I
And
wish
I just
YouTube
learned
was
how to
around
play
when I
that.
learned how to play music.
YouTube
awesome.
University.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
it's the
awesome.
best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how I learned how to use a lot of things. But yeah,
Yeah, but no, I mean, so I'm about to nerd out here for like 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Crazy.
But it's like that to me is the beauty of the internet, and like the
Yeah.
point of like what the internet like is supposed to be
Mhm.
is that it's like this information, free information.
Yeah.
This dude didn't learn no theory, but he's on YouTube trying to learn his favorite songs. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And I
That's
learned how to
beautiful,
put my
man.
own chords
Yeah.
together from that. Like
Yeah.
before I ever looked at sheet music since I played saxophone, like I knew chords. I'd be like, this is C major, this
Right.
is
Mhm.
D major, just because I knew where it was on the keyboard. And then when I went to theory class, one of the first things they gave us was a keyboard on a piece of paper. And I was like, I already know
Yeah, I
everything.
did that.
yeah.
Like, this is great. But that really enhanced my ability to communicate with musicians. Once I took that and my ability to understand what I'm playing so I
Right.
can have more control.
Right. So then for you, when did it move from you watching these YouTube videos, learning other people's songs, to being like, I've got this thing in my head, I'm gonna make my own music. You know,
Well,
when did that happen?
that was before I even started learning how to do that because I had Fruity Loops.
Oh
So,
shit.
We
Yeah.
had
like you
to-
could hit the chord you wanted and
Yeah.
and basically paste it in, but I never did that. I would always draw each note one by one
Mm.
based on how I thought it sounded. So I was always making my own stuff. And what's crazy is when I was a kid, like I have these memories of always freestyling in the shower. Like I would just make really sad songs because I listened to a lot of Avant.
He blamed it on a bot.
It is. I should have never let it get away. Like that was one of the saddest songs, and I'm like 8 years old,
He's in the shower, like,
internalizing
I
this
can
shit.
cry and no one can see me.
Exactly.
That's so dope.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
So
to me.
I'm just
That's
bearing
what's
my
up.
soul.
Fuck you, Avant. No, I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about? Avant
know.
was he birthed these niggas.
But he made niggas sad.
yeah, well,
Sorry, I'm just saying.
it
Anyway,
happens.
8 years old.
Lil Uzi makes people sad.
I mean, I don't want. Yeah,
He makes me sad.
yeah.
I
He makes
like
me
Lil
sad.
Uzi. But
To
you
each
know,
his
once
own.
you dissect the lyrics, you're just like, man, I hope you okay. Like, for real.
I mean, we're tangent, but I'll just say this: it was a breakup album, I guess you could say, but it just still was like lost to me.
That shit is amazing.
It was lost to me. I think
Uzi's
I'm too old for it. Or
Oh,
it's
I
not
didn't get
meant
it.
for me.
I didn't get it.
Well, for
I don't know.
me-
I feel like I'm old now because I just this Uzi shit.
I feel you.
Nah, bro.
I feel you, but
nah.
This is the way I look at it because I used to be the same way. Like when trap music came out, I was a huge Lupe fan, and you know if it was like if it
my
wasn't
God.
lyrical,
That's you.
you blocking my path. Like you trash. That's
Right.
that was my mind state. But the older I got, the more I started listening to jazz and just instrumental music, the more I hear that in so many different types of music. So I listen to Uzi and I'm like, this melody is crazy.
For sure.
The rhyme scheme,
Oh yeah.
crazy.
I will never take that away from him.
Nuts.
But I just feel like I need something else subject
So-
matter wise. So
I
whatever.
feel that. I
So
feel
like
that.
I'm so glad you said jazz because like I feel like hip hop is like the evolution of jazz.
Mm.
I
It
feel like
is.
hip hop is instead of me being Miles Davis and putting my emotions through tones and through notes on a trumpet. Now I can put melodies through my voice, and on top of the melodies, I can put words.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So to me, it's a step above jazz because you can have those melodies and you can have a message.
Yeah.
So it's special to me when someone like Lupe is able to give me the melody and the message,
Yeah.
as opposed to like a Uzi where it's like I got the melody, but it's like I got nothing else.
I feel
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love words. So like I'm picking apart Uzi's words too, and that's why I said what I said is like when you actually sit down with the words and you're like, Yo,
Okay.
he's actually talking about something he's going through. It's just in a
Mhm.
way that a lot of the younger generation talks. Because I always liken
Okay.
conversations like this to how I wasn't around in the '90s, but at least in TV depictions and conversations I had with older people, they were the same way when rap came out.
Right.
What is this? I don't understand this.
Exactly.
Like
Of
you saw it
course.
in the Straight Outta Compton
Of
movie. And
course.
he's like, where Lonzo was like, y'all ain't gonna make shit off of
Right.
this.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Right.
And it was the language of the youth, and that's what always pushes for hip hop. And I just take that it's clearly not the same thing. You
Mhm.
know, it's totally different now, but the concept, the breaking of barriers is the same thing.
No, I don't
You
back
know?
up. It's cool. Like, no, you're right. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's similar because I mean, I'm older, but I feel like the difference is, at least at this point, I can acknowledge, like, yo, I might be too old for this
That's real.
shit. Like,
Right.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
might.
That's what.
I missed this shit. Like, I'm not in
Yeah.
high school no more. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
my problems are evolved. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I ain't worried about this breakup. I'm worried about this next bill I gotta pay. and
This
shit.
mortgage.
Yeah.
You know, this
whatever,
mortgage
you know?
payment and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's different. So
yeah.
I understand, but this ain't for me.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice tangent, right?
Damn.
That was great.
Also,
Love it.
how did I get into music?
I mean,
I know. Well, I mean, because he played. So let's recap. He played. He
Play
wanted to
sax.
play drums.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it because he failed. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to fuck with
Damn,
you.
I basically did. I'm like, this is a good story. Keep going.
And then he went to the saxophone. The best.
And then what?
And then
yeah,
what? And
yeah.
then what? And then
And then-
stop. Come on, bro. I'm trying to get us. I'm trying to get us back on track.
Great.
All right. So, so with you knowing how the saxophone is, I guess we can just go into this question that I wanted to ask you, because I noticed within your music there's a lot of different, I want to say flows. I guess you could say, like, you challenge my ear. So one thing that Rakim used to say is that, like, the reason why he's like the godfather of flow, because everyone kept saying, like, you know, he changed it up, like he wasn't like on every, like, 1 2 3 4 on every downbeat. Rakim said, like, you know, with him playing the saxophone, it made him learn different patterns, and so that's how he changed up his flow. Do you think that the music, like learning music the way you did and at such a young age you did that influence your flow? Did that influence the melodies you come up with, things like that?
I don't think consciously,
But subconsciously,
but
most
it might
likely,
be
right?
subconsciously. But if you would ask me where my inspiration for like switching up my flows and
Mhm.
my cadences come from, it's from rap. Like I just study all types of
Okay.
rap, and it was like it became a practice for muscle memory for me. So I would learn as many rap songs as I could just because I loved them, not because I'm trying to get down technique, but I also love these songs. So
Mhm.
I'm used to using all these different cadences, and I put them into my songs. Like it just
It just
comes out.
works.
And I don't like the same rhyme scheme. Like
Oh yeah.
the way I look at it is, you know, I see the words when I spit them or when I hear them. So if the end rhyme scheme is like A, and I see that in my head, I'm like, this is boring,
Mm.
and I gotta keep it up. And also Eminem, Lupe, Jay-Z, like these were the people that taught me how to rap, and Lil Wayne.
Nice.
So, I'm sorry.
And melodies, I love Genuine. And like I
Yeah.
said, I used to listen to a lot of Avant, and my
Mhm.
grandmother just 102.7 every
Oh,
day,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is the the older folk station, the
Mhm.
soul station. I'm not gonna say older folks, but the
I
soul
got that on
station.
my
And
radio.
that's my shit. I guess I'm
Yes.
older
I was
folks.
raised on that shit.
Yeah.
Well, so then that means that you're musically eclectic, like, you know, like he's diving into each, like, different musical pond. So
I
I
that's
mean, so I mean, for me, when it comes to your music, from what I was listening to, I can hear. I definitely can hear the influences that you talked about.
Word.
You know.
I can hear multiple influences.
Yeah. No, I hear a lot of different influences. and I
Andre
love it.
3000.
Mhm.
And no, now I enjoy it because it's already been stated earlier.
Right.
I'm a motherfucking old head, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Um, But I hear the old head influences in you. How old are you?
24.
24 years old.
Wait, he doesn't put that on his album. He's like, I'm 20 blank, and da. So
That's a mess.
you want to do that?
It's
I mean,
fine.
I do that because
Alright.
I mean, if you want
He
to
wants
dive
some-
into the
No,
story
it's
of
okay.
it, no.
You don't have to, but I'm just saying, like, maybe he didn't want to. Don't ask him that. You never
See,
ask a
he
man.
said he-
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you.
He said there was nothing that was
Fine,
off
we can
limits.
cut this out.
I
Tracy
asked
just
him how,
fucking
we
tripping.
talking about old heads and new heads. I'm
You're
curious.
24.
Great.
24.
So
I know. I just
That's
made
my
it
number.
awkward as fuck. My bad.
now
bro.
my thought is fucking gone.
You
I
asked.
seriously, it's fucking done.
Because you were talking about old head shit.
Oh,
You wanna
okay.
know why?
I have a random question for you because I know you're a little bit younger than us. But what was the first hip hop record that you bought with your own money?
Ooh, yeah.
I love this fucking question. yo.
Okay, so
Like,
while
I
you're
need-
thinking, you need to think about it.
No, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure I know.
or on iTunes, I guess. I don't know.
Because we can
like-
tell you what ours was.
I'll tell you what mine
Mhm.
was.
Okay.
This is at least the one I remember the most.
Okay.
Saint Lunatics.
Hey.
Okay. Hey, that's cool though.
Hey,
Hey,
that's what's up though.
I
That's
was,
what's up.
I
I
was
can
really, I was
respect
like
group
10. I was like
Yep.
9 or 10, and I was like, I really want this Saint Lunatics
Yes.
album.
Yes.
Murphy Lee
Lunatics
was the
pop.
shit.
Yes, Murphy.
What the
Murphy
hook
Lee
gonna be,
was the
bro?
one.
Murphy, yeah, what the hook
Did we
gonna
ever
be?
find out what the hook gonna be?
Did we ever
He
find
didn't
out
need
how
a
good he
motherfucking
could
hook
have
on that
been?
beat.
Damn.
All he needed was the track in the background. His headphones loud.
Oh yeah,
Snap,
he
bro.
did.
Murphy Lee.
In the Jersey game.
Oh
Right?
man, off the chains.
Yep.
What was your first record?
Rough Riders, Volume 1.
Mm.
And I'm a West Coast baby,
Mm.
so
Right.
it's very interesting.
All right.
I used to love Drag On in that motherfucker. Drag On was Drag On
Locks?
killed everybody.
Jada.
Locks was great, but to me, in my head, like I would run
Drag
that
On?
Drag On. I don't even remember the name of it. I just know Drag On killed everyone on that one track. I'm just
I
saying.
wasn't into like Rough Riders and like that. So
All right, so we just lost our connection. It's cool. Yeah, he's like,
You guys still have saxophones.
I know.
Different sizes, but it's okay.
It's all good.
Oh,
What
me?
about yours? Yeah.
Nigga,
Nigga, that's what we're looking at you for.
but they might not be able to.
name it.
So, obviously check this. Bustin' Rhymes, When Disaster Strikes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that we
That
can
was-
relate on.
And what's so fucked up, so Tracy and I are both from fucking Oakland, West Coast, California, and both of our shits are not from the
Are
West
rooted
Coast.
in this first time we decided to support music.
The first rap song I remember ever hearing was Gin and Juice.
No shit.
Ever.
Wow.
What about the first one that you knew like front to back?
Gin and Juice.
Gin and Juice?
That's the first one he heard. And
The
he
first
fell in
one I
love,
heard,
he
and
was
I'm like,
"Bow, I'm hooked."
this shit is
You
so
want to know
hot.
which one? Mine was Dove Shack from the LBC. Summertime in the LBC.
Oh shit.
I ride with her.
I'm trying
I
to think.
slide.
Damn.
Yeah.
My
I don't
earliest-
know that.
I'm gonna have to put you on after this.
Yeah,
I'll
I gotta
put you
hear
on.
that.
It's
It
dope.
sounded hot.
Take the info.
Yeah. Do you know?
Slick Rick.
Oh,
Bedtime story.
Ooh.
see, look at this. See this. Now we're showing.
Slick
my
Rick bedtime
shit.
story.
I fuck with you.
It's crazy. Damn.
fuck
I'm
with
trying
you.
to think. Like, I remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably on some random radio station, KMEL back in the day.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, speaking of KML, let's talk about you going to the Bay, and you actually have a couple of lines in your music. What is it? Compton, California.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Damn,
I
what
think
did I
that
say?
one.
Did I say something?
Compton, Chicago. Excuse me.
Compton, Chicago.
Yeah, not Compton, California.
Did I say something about the Bay in that?
I think you did. I think you said something about it being.
Your name is L.A.
Nah. I mean,
Where's the L.A. come from?
My initials.
Got it. See?
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
No. I think he said something about 510. I'm gonna look at my.
That was
phone
on
right
my
now.
project, The Vinyl.
The
There was
Vinyl?
a song called "Hear You."
Oh, it might be that.
Yeah, there was
I gotta
definitely
check
Hear
my
You.
notes.
It was definitely "Hear You."
All right. Well, I'm wrong. He's right. He knows his own fucking
I hope so.
catalog than better than me.
But you did
My bad.
visibly,
But no,
But you were
like-
really close.
visit
Yeah.
the Bay Area.
I
Right?
did.
Oh yeah, you know what? It is Hear You. I said he has a line called "She from the 510." Yes.
That's old
That's
school
my
She
right
shit.
is
there.
from the 510.
That's where
Dope.
I'm from. I got it.
She
East
is from
Oakland,
the
bro.
510.
That's dope.
But anyway, let's get. We are like just having a great conversation right now, and I'm loving it. But I want to make sure that we cover
You're
everything.
right. You're right.
Let's make sure that we've covered everything in regards to how you got your start. We know your biggest influences are Lupe, I would say, Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
I would say as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
because
Are
there's
you
a
telling
lot
him his influences?
Nah,
Yeah, I'm
this
just-
is I want to
not-
hear
yeah.
what you think
Oh,
my
okay.
influences are.
I know
That's dope.
Outkast.
That's really
Let's do it.
dope.
Yeah,
Let's
Outcast,
do it.
because I mean you got the Spotty Yachty, and you got a lot of like little riffs here and there that reminisce from like AT Aliens or something like that. And then I would also say Kendrick as is a big influence to you too, because your rhyme, the way you change up your rhyme scheme, I think throughout a song is similar to them. I mean, also like throughout the album. The album is called Everything Is Subjective. Get it when it comes out. It comes out October 15th. 24th. Get that. Make sure you guys know about that. But we've got, because we know we privileged and shit up in here, so we were able to listen to that motherfucker, and it's fire. And I feel like you have a lot of influences from people that we actually revere on this podcast.
Right.
Can you tell me like what it is about those influences that, like, what about it is about those artists that I just named that really influenced you? Is it like their flow, like, or is it like what they do outside of music, what they do inside of music? They're basically pioneers at this point, right? So
Yeah.
can you talk about that?
I think
That
what
was
I
a lot.
study.
Fuck,
I
sorry.
think you're good. I think what I study the most about these artists
Mhm.
artists are the way that they transform their story into music. Like,
Got you.
I love the words.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you can convey a story throughout, that's what I love the most. And just the cadences, the flows. I love Future. Future is a big influence too.
Oh, there you go.
And Frank
Mhm.
Ocean. And the way they push the envelope, the way
Frank
the
definitely
attention
does
to
that, so yeah.
detail, the attention to detail. I think that's what I study the most, is why is that sound there? Why did they decide to drop this here? What are they saying that coincides with this? And I don't know if I've ever heard them or anybody that's worked with them say, why they do it, but I just pay so much attention to it that I started for myself saying, how can I make this song speak? How does this sound speak to what I'm saying right now?
Right.
So that sparked that thought. And not only that, I think more than music now, I'm influenced by film,
Ooh.
because just the way it's sequenced.
Mhm.
I've never been a person that liked to throw together an album full of songs. It has to have a story to it.
Ooh.
Any project that I've put out that was over 10 songs has a story to it. And that's just my thing. And you get the best stories from film. So Stanley Kubrick's a huge influence. Who else? That's really it. Like him and Charlie Kaufman.
These film references are lost to me. So.
Or word, The Shining.
Shining. Okay, there you go.
That's Kubrick. 2001. That's Kubrick.
Okay.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
Kubrick. And Kaufman, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Mm-hmm.
What else did he do? He did Adaptation. I hope I'm getting that name right. I'm gonna be so sad if I'm getting that wrong. But
It's all good. Whatever. The heart and soul.
No, it's
yeah,
there.
influences.
Yeah, the
Bow.
influences there. That's awesome.
So you say film, like a lot of film influences you. So I guess my question, considering your music influences, some of them like your contemporaries, and then I guess the film, put that together. Where do you come up with your concepts? Because I feel like some of the concepts of some of the music that you're making, a lot of your contemporaries are just like missing it. So I mean, where are you coming up with these concepts, and why are you focusing on the concepts that you are?
Because it's what I've had to learn from studying these artists so much, and like sometimes even turning into them, like feeling like Shao Kahn, and not Shao Kahn, but fucking Shang Tsung, like turning into other people. I had to learn that I have to tell my story. So that's where a lot of my concepts is from the way I view the world, from my lens and the things that I care about. But not only are music my biggest influences, I'm a huge spoken word fan. I did a lot of open mics in Chicago. So all of those, a lot of the people I'm influenced by in that community, like Real Talk, Phenom, K-Love, Authentic, like I can go on for days. Frank Heem, I can go on for days about people that influence me on that side. So just the way you can transform something into something else is a huge thing in the open mic scene.
Yeah.
So that was where my basis of being able to put my life into something relatable. And then on top of that, Lupe is my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
Like where I got the blueprint from. So
No, that's love. Like, you know, and when I first came to Chicago, I happened upon that spoken word scene, and it was like, it's a lot of dope cats out there, and I mean, it's just, it is a whole scene. It's a whole like subculture of
Ray Jackson,
yeah, dude, yeah, but
Brittany, Black Rose, like,
but it's Chicago,
going.
and I'm saying from Oakland, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
In Oakland, okay, so.
Or you just weren't like privy to the scene, probably.
I wasn't in the scene.
It's
'Cause I think
different.
it's different.
Like I'm not even to say like he wasn't in the scene, or even if he was in the scene, like not to knock nobody else's city or open mic scene, but anywhere out of state that I've gone to open mics and spit like my most mediocre shit is 5 levels above. Just concept wise, structure wise, it's just a different realm in Chicago.
I mean, Chicago's home, like you said. I mean, you mentioned Lupe.
Yeah.
He's a pretty heavy hitter.
Well, let's.
We got a comment.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
pretty
If you just
heavy
go down
hitter,
the track
like,
list, you have people,
Yeah.
and then
Rhyme
the original
Fest.
Rhyme Fest, yeah.
yeah. He stayed at my house before.
Yeah, that's,
That's another story. But, no, but like there's a long list of people from the Midwest in general that, like, one, they all don't sound the same. 2, they are all like, they all have a great subject matter. Like even down to Chief Keef, like he's talking about his reality,
right.
up to the people like Common, Twista, fucking Mick Jenkins,
Chance,
all
Vic.
Chance, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like all talking about your realities in different ways and giving you and challenging your ear in a different way every time. So that's why I understand what you're saying when it comes to like Chicago's just a different beast, because I see it. I mean, we see it in you already, and just in that different beast, I'm just gonna go ahead and segue to this song that I loved. It's not on the album. Everything is subjective. Go get that motherfucker on October 24th. But it's already out. It's released on everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you fucking want to hear it. It's a song called Bitter Berries, and I relate to that song a lot. You can laugh at it all you want, motherfucker. Just because
I'm gonna let y'all have
yeah, let me have
have
my conversation with somebody that made a song that speaks to me directly. All right, bruh? So if you guys haven't heard this song Bitter Berries is basically about, it's a play on Strange Fruit, if you don't mind me throwing that out there. If you guys aren't familiar with what Strange Fruit is, I mean, the most popular person that you could hear that has sampled that song is Kanye.
Blood on the Leaves.
Exactly, Blood on the Leaves. But Bitter Berries is such a phenomenal song to me. It's about being biracial. It's about an identity crisis as well. Can you just go ahead and expand a little bit on that? And like, I don't know. I just love everything about that song because I am biracial. I'm white and I'm black. You talk about like, you know, you're Mexican and you're black and what that's happened. I mean, the chorus itself, I can just go on for days about this particular song. But anyway, sorry.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I appreciate it when anyone tells me they relate to it. Like, that means a lot to me just because I was scared to write that song.
Really?
Just within the conversation of the Black Diaspora, what it means to be black.
Exactly.
I went to school to study civil rights, or constitutional law with a focus in civil rights. And a lot of times, and not only in textbooks, but in where I grew up, like I just never felt black enough. But I grew up in an all-black household. My grandmother's black, my dad's black, my sisters are black, the damn dog is black. Legit. Find the pictures, the dog is black.
Yeah. Fucking dog.
And then there's me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then
honeydew. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I didn't grow up in the same household as my mother. She is from Mexico. She's an immigrant from Mexico. From the blackest place in Mexico, Arcelia. But I didn't grow up there, so whenever I went over to hang out with her, because I wasn't really a part of the culture, I felt left out there too. So it's a weird space to be in. And I don't know if that story has been. It is told in music. Logic's doing a great job, actually. I fucking love Logic. But just the conversation itself, I just love that song creates a conversation.
Exactly. And that's what I,
and
that's
it came
what I was,
from that place.
That's exactly what I was going to touch on, because we have people that try and discount the fact that we are black.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, I'm black, and yes, I'm white. Yes, you're black. Yes, you're Mexican. Like, we have both of those things. And people try and discount the fact that we have that identity crisis where, like, we're trying to figure out where we fit in. And, like, yes, we don't, I mean, not all white people need to hang out with white people. Not all black people need to hang out. But when you're trying to figure out what your culture is, something that America has stolen from a lot of black people, like, you have to, it's an identity crisis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that's serious that happens in a lot of people. It's something that I've struggled with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I just love how eloquently that you put it, like the way that you told the story about, well, actually, you know what? I won't be too serious on this one because this is a funny part. Like, the way you told the story throughout the whole song is amazing. But one point in the song, you said, somebody you beat a
I
scored
beat somebody
10?
by 10. Yeah, like I beat
There was
these
a
2
2-on-1?
kids. Yes.
Nigga, you ain't
You
that
beat
nice.
somebody 2-1.
I
remember
did.
that.
I
remember
did.
that. Was that
I
a
don't
real
When I
life
was-
story?
I don't believe you.
How old did I
Thank
say
you
I
for bringing
was?
that
I was
up.
like
Jesus
10.
Christ.
10?
I was when I was
2
10.
people?
One of the
Yeah, whatever.
2 kids,
Whatever.
2 like same age kids as me.
How old were they? Like 5 each, so together they equal 10?
Shut
Nah.
up.
I think one of them was older than me, but like that's a legit story, and that's
Right.
where it came from, because that is the one of the most, what I say, like that's the moment that made me feel like, what do you mean, white boy?
Right. Exactly. I'm not a white boy. I mean, he
Who am
can
I?
even attest to that, because
I'm not white.
no, attest to that if you'd let me motherfucking explain.
Sorry, you just said
Because
attest
I have
to
a
that,
full,
and
I
you
have,
said,
I have a full
white
white
boy?
sister.
Yeah.
And he thought that
Oh.
my full white sister is black.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
when he was growing up, because our whole, like, he's like, he didn't see black as a color. He saw black as what his family was.
Characteristics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, it's,
my
to
cousin
me,
is definitely not. She's not white.
she's not a white girl.
She
She
ain't
ain't,
white,
she ain't a
She's
typical
from
white
Oakland.
girl.
From East Oakland.
She's
She ain't
not-
white.
feel
But
you.
she's also not a cash me out. She's also not a cash me outside. Let's not forget that either.
No, she's not.
But that, to me, I had to bring this up because
Yeah.
I think it's very important to let people know that, you know, there's a lot of multicultural people out there. There's a lot of people out there that have more than one race, and I think it's very brave of you to write a song that way. Same way I think it's brave of Logic to write a song that way, and Joe Budden to tear down people, because that's one thing. That's one of my issues I have with Joe Budden right now on his new show, is that he's tearing down the fact, like, they're calling Logic white. Yes, he's white, but he's not only white.
Right.
Or like, and they're tearing him down for having this conversation or expressing himself on a track, saying who he is,
Right.
and what his
We're not
struggle
trying to
is.
speak for nobody.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
think
this
Logic.
is, and you're discounting my struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's where I have an issue.
I think where the mix up comes in is the lighter skin aspect. Like, because I am lighter, I recognize that I have a privilege. I have
Right.
a different privilege that I don't have to live with like my sister does,
Right.
who's about your color.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing that plays into the conversation that I think is not acknowledged enough, is some people might look at the conversation we're having and say, well, you're lighter, you know, like, don't act like you got it hard or whatever. Like, it's not that, but I do have a privilege, and there are things that I went through that were very hurtful because of my lack of melanin or presence of melanin, whatever I have, you know. So
the worst of both.
That's what I'm saying, is that, like,
it is like, when I was a kid, I used to think that. I'm like, in my head, I would legit say, like, I'm the worst 2 races you can be. Like, I'm Mexican and black. Like, no matter where I go in this country, I'm harassed. It doesn't matter, even if I'm of fair skin, because
you got,
in
like,
Latino
the
communities,
worst-
like, they get it as bad as
yeah,
black people do.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Welcome to East Oakland. Yeah.
Right, for
Like,
real.
no, for sure. But like that's why I needed to bring it up, and that's why I had to say I commend you for making a song that powerful, especially like even the music behind the song. Like it's beautiful. Even like I came into the studio singing like the little background vocals that you do throughout the chorus. I mean, just down to the blacker the berry. They say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Well, I must be pretty bitter.
Like that's how I
according
felt.
to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like let's talk about it. Like
Yeah.
we need to make sure that conversation's being had, and I appreciate you for doing that.
thank
And
you. Inspired by Homer versus Plessy.
hey,
And Brown versus Board.
hey,
So like
There you go.
I like specifically reference those both, and that's what gave me the courage to write those
Mm-hmm.
songs was Homer Plessy, and because he was 1/16 black, according to the case,
right?
but he was kicked off of the train during that time because of segregated transportation. But he did that on purpose. He's like, I look white, but hey, I'm in this seat now.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I'm black. You doing us bogus. So, and he took that all the way to court. So that's what inspired me to have the courage to even write this song, because I was just thinking of his mind state. So,
It's just beautiful.
thank you.
It's dope.
All right.
I had a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I noticed, we all sipping drinks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't drink much.
Yeah.
And I noticed a
Controls
song
his
you
vices.
had. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Shit.
I noticed a song you did a while back, Thirsty Thursdays,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, after listening to that song, it's like, well, and after watching that video, I'd be like, I probably shouldn't be drinking right now. So I mean, it's kind of an older song, but I mean, like, what is that? What's the story behind that? Like, is that why you don't drink now, or?
Well, actually, the reason I don't drink is what's funny is that apartment that we shot it in is a place that I got super fucked up to the point where I was like, I can't drink anymore. So it was just ironic that we shot it
A lot
there.
of people have those. A lot of people have those moments.
Dope. That's dope. Like, that almost brings, like, it makes the song better.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Right. There's a story behind it, of course. It seems like there's a story behind a lot of his music, but anyway.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. How old were you when y'all shot that?
I was 19.
19.
You look
Well,
young as fuck in that.
I was
Yeah.
when I dropped it. I was 21.
Okay.
But
I
then you
think
shot
20
it,
or
like-
20 or 21.
Yeah.
But that incident happened when I was 19.
Oh, gotcha.
Gotcha.
So
Shout out to the A's jersey that he had on in that
Yes,
motherfucker
I have to
too.
say that. Yes. He's wearing an Oakland A's jersey in the video.
I mean, we in Chicago.
2012, and that shit was hot.
Yes,
Thank you.
it was.
That shit was
it was custom.
crispy.
Had my last name on it.
Hey,
It was
that's
What
what's up.
Waterboy say? It was my daddy's. Legit, it was my pops.
Yo, that's hot. No, I had to shout that out because the A's
Yeah,
jersey
for
too,
sure.
like, dope. Yeah.
So
Thank you. That's dope.
last but not least, let's go ahead and get into this new album. So we got the album. Everything is subjective. Why do I fucking fuck that shit up every time I try and say it?
Oh.
Everything is subjective.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Apparently, to Mr.
I mean,
L.A. Van Gogh.
According to L.A. Van Gogh.
Can you tell us why you decided to name it, like have that as the title?
Well, I fuck with philosophy a lot, and I study philosophy. And one of the things I learned in philosophy is that the only thing that is objective is that everything is subjective. And that's
Hey.
everything is up to speculation. Like, just like we talked about our points of view on how we lived our lives, tiptoeing the line between black and whatever
Other.
we're mixed with.
Right.
And everybody's got a different experience. So it was just something I was processing at the time. And a lot went into it, honestly. Like, even to this day, this project's meaning changes because literally the things that I talk about change over time. The way I look at it changes over time. Like, wow, this is what I meant when I said that.
Right.
And I talk about a lot of different things from different perspectives, and the voices that I use, a lot of people, I'm sure, are going to think that's someone else, but it's me.
Right.
Everything plays on the fact that everything is perception. So whatever you think is going on probably isn't going on,
Right.
but you're perceiving it that way.
Right.
Some people are going to pick up on it, and that's the best part. Is I'm trying to make everything about this project make people understand, or not even, but introduce to people that there is more than one story, even like the game telephone.
Right.
If I tell you something, you're going to tell it to him differently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Go
how...
Go around this room.
Right.
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 Have something.
I'm going to change my number.
Damn.
Hey.
He went
I'm
hard.
just gonna make sure you just ain't
Damn.
getting me. You know what I'm saying?
Hard. That was clever.
What's up?
That was clever.
Yes.
2 snaps in a circle.
Hey.
But yeah, everybody's gonna get something out of it. You're gonna listen to it differently from the next person. And I think that's something important because I do also care about mental health, and that's one of the first steps to recovery or to making some type of transformation mentally in your environment is, I gotta understand that everything is not my story. Like everything does not revolve around me. What I grew up understanding may not be true. Like a lot of things that I was taught, you gotta be open to what is he actually saying?
You gotta be open to other people's perspectives, which is coming back to be, the whole theory of subjective.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome. I mean, to be honest, to hear you explain the title that way makes me look at the album a lot different. Like, you go from When I Get Rich to Be Careful. And When I Get Rich is all about like what I'm going to do when I get this money, when I get that, when I do that. But be careful with your words, like what you're saying and things like that. Like, I love that transition between those two songs. Of course that was planned, right? I was just going to be like, was that planned?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like a dumbass, right?
Too,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Hold up. No, for sure. Go ahead.
It's what I've been through. Like this, it's what I felt like I've been through. Is like, I'll reach this high, and then I forget that I need to take care of myself. But like everything is a conversation of my life. The way the songs are structured, the order. The order. I mean, structure song wise. Like there are things within the song structure that play on the subjectivity on something I went through. So
yeah, that whole album, I listened to it like 7,000 times this morning.
Damn.
Because I wanted to make sure I was ready to talk about it. And
so you telling me you know how to stop time?
Oh yeah, for sure.
7,000.
7,000.
60 minutes.
Yeah.
60 minutes.
She did it. She made
7,000 times.
Oh, he didn't know
this morning.
He didn't know that.
She's
I
Doctor
do that
Strange.
shit, right?
So you know how
I'm Doctor Strange like a motherfucker.
So you know how like Goku went into that chamber where he could train and like time was slower and shit.
Right. That's me.
He was listening to your music in the
Exactly.
fucking time chamber.
He just is like, I'm falling in love.
Machine.
You know what I'm saying? all that shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I guess now we kind of have a better understanding of like, you know what I'm saying, the point of the album. Obviously, a thought process through it. It's like, I'm gonna come back to this question. Why? Why are you putting your story out there?
I can't tell nobody else's.
Well,
I can't. You can tell me your life, and I can translate it to paper. I can put it to something, but if I don't feel it, if nothing resonates, I'm not gonna like it.
Right.
People aren't gonna like it.
And I think that's what is so amazing about you as an artist, is because it's genuine, it's authentic. Like from the sounds to the words, like the melodies, like just everything. I don't know. Sorry, I'm nerding out.
No, it's cool, but I mean, with the authenticity, and it's 2017. Hip hop is now the reigning champion of music. Just music across the world. Like
hip hop is pop.
Hip hop
now.
is fucking pop at this point. So we don't give pop stars shit if they sing a really emotional song that's somebody else's story. So like, how would you feel about writing a song, emotional song for somebody else, or having somebody else write an emotional song for you? I guess the whole ghostwriting shit in hip hop. Like, is that okay now that hip hop is pop?
Like,
see that the key word is ghost.
Okay.
Writing.
Right, and I say ghost as in not credited writing.
Exactly.
Not non-credited, because I know a lot of motherfuckers have credited writers.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, ghostwriters, nah. Because it's like Kendrick said, especially if you say you're the best, or if you content, you can't say you're the best and you're not coming up with your own rhymes. But I have written for other people, and they've been very emotional tracks. They've been my story, but they just resonated or it sounded better coming from them. And people writing for me,
I'm gonna bring it
on Compton, Chicago. My friend Frank Keem actually wrote that hook, but he brought it to me and we made a song together, and I just transformed it into Compton, Chicago. But like, they're bouncing ideas, and I make sure I credit anybody, but I wouldn't let nobody really write for me because
I'm jealous.
I'm a tourist. So I ain't trying to hear shit You got to tell me.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay.
Because I already got it
You ain't
figured out.
about to- Oh God. I'm sorry. I'm just tripping out because I just read the side of your glasses. It says Shapeshifter.
It does.
So is that your producer moniker, or?
It's a play on the like everything is subjective thing, but that's just something that, like I eventually tied in. That wasn't conscious. I just said Shapeshifter in a song, and
I'm hella
the
mad.
more that like I found myself as an artist, the more I realized what that meant to me, and it's tiptoeing that line. It's becoming different people. You're always growing. Everything is in flux. Another philosophy drop, you know. So, and that's something I believe in. Is we're always changing every day.
I'm literally a big fan now. Like the motherfucker's got it on the side of his goddamn glasses. Like I need them. Like I'm probably still. Thank you.
No.
Hey, I got the fucking.
Got him.
I can't see.
Got him. And now
Oh
you're
shit!
blind.
That's gonna hurt me.
That's what I was waiting on. That's what I was waiting on.
He's like,
I'm like, you need them. I check them out. If you need them, look, let me help you out.
Sure.
Because you are going through it right now if you need these.
He might be
killing
poor.
me, killing me. All right, well, let's get back, or not get back in, but let's dive a little deeper into the album. I love you got Sam Trump on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's got some horns on this bitch.
Yeah.
Love
Yes.
it.
Sounds dope.
Thank you.
From
Shout out Sam Trump.
yeah, I've been following him
Yeah.
from like
Fuck Donald.
Sidewalk Truck, and
Amen.
we've got him on. I follow
I'm
him
sorry.
like randomly.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
What?
I said, fuck Donald. The only
Okay,
Trump we acknowledge is Sam.
Oh yeah,
Bet.
fuck that shit.
Bet.
I'm sorry, I didn't even want to like give that light, but I'm just kidding. My bad. I don't know.
You're right.
Like we're not supposed to say him.
It's like
Ellen.
Voldemort. You just-
Don't say his motherfucking name.
Voldemort.
It's like
Hey!
Voldemort. He's like Voldemort. You're just not
You
supposed
can't.
to say
You're not
his
supposed
shit.
to put it on all the way, or he'll see you, and then like some shit. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
What we saying?
Yeah, I don't even fucking remember now.
Damn. So dive a little deeper.
No, just dive a little deeper into the album. So there's 2 episodes.
Oh, Sam Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sam Trump. I actually wanted to talk about escapism, the last track. I love like the whole thing like takes you through a vibe. Like so you start out somewhere and like you weave into this vibe when you get to escapism. And the chorus of escapism is pussy and weed basically. Can you talk a little bit about like what were your thoughts going into this song?
I mean, it's pussy and weed. Like,
Hold on.
what is there to
Hold on.
fucking explain?
I love this. Hold on.
Like,
Because you're catching on. You're catching on. Just like you said, there's a story behind everything.
Right.
Let me tell you.
Yes, I'm ready for it.
So
damn.
the story behind that song came from in 2014. I graduated college. I was
Wait, hold on.
Congrats,
Moment
yo.
of-
Hold on.
Yo, another black / Mexican man with his fucking degree.
Latino.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
I'm glad you broke it all the way
Motherfucking
down.
people.
all the
Anyway,
way down. Milk and
go ahead.
flour.
There you
Milk
go.
and flour. Another
Milk and
pancake
flour.
ass
Milk-
nigga. Okay, let's just do it.
Pancake
Right?
Damn, that's
y'all-
a new thing.
I mean, apparently y'all keep talking
Pancake
about
ass.
it.
Why not?
Damn, what was I
Fucking
saying?
pancakes.
What was we talking about? The fuck we talking
We're talking about you graduating. So
Oh,
we're talking about escapism.
escapism. 2014 graduated. The girl I was dating at the time, I would go over to her apartment and like basically wait for her to get off work on some days.
Like this, dick out, like pussy and weed. I'm just
mhm,
kidding.
I got some
sorry.
dick and some weed.
I
What you
begin-
want?
I begin to.
Yeah.
I had on a onesie
Sorry.
actually.
Hey, that's what's up.
I didn't have on a onesie. That was comedic relief. But I was there one day and I was also looking for a job at the time because I
Okay.
just graduated. So I couldn't smoke.
Nope.
Can't smoke.
No.
I'm at the crib and I'm like, man,
Bored as hell.
I'm going through a lot and I'm stressed a lot. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like, that's what the song became. So whenever I come up with a chorus like that, I'm like, the song cannot stay that vain. So that's where the verses came in. That's where I kind of like started explaining literally what happened in the verse is what was happening to me that day. Like, and
It's crazy.
the second verse is the same thing, just, you know, from a different perspective. I'm not going to give it away. That's
Yeah, if you don't.
and then the
Listen
third
listen
verse,
to it.
the third verse is another perspective. But I will say
that
that
third verse is.
that song is not one song in concept. That song is 3 songs starting over. I wish I could have done the video for that because it would have just like elaborated the song.
too late,
But if you
right?
listen, I'll give you a hint. If you listen to the last line in the first verse, I say, something, we just end up back here. And the song literally starts over if you listen to the production value. So
shit, I'm gonna
put that in your pipe and
All right.
put that in your
it.
blunt and
Alright.
smoke it.
Yo, yeah.
Shit.
Did you just say put that in your pocket? Smoke it?
Say put that in your blunt and smoke it.
blunt.
God damn.
Shit.
We got some backwoods.
God damn it,
Anybody got some
I
backwoods?
thought-
Hey, there actually are backwoods right in that drawer.
Damn. All right, we might have to hit the backwoods later, yo. So I listen to
Ain't
this
nobody
song.
hitting no backwoods over here. I'll drink something.
we
But
just
Nah,
gonna
right.
say.
I'm not hitting the wood. Not no more.
Oh.
that's
tobacco
crazy
life.
because I did listen to the album 7,000 times apparently, and I didn't catch that. So
The
fuck
production,
me.
I would say, just for anybody that wants to listen to it and wants help, guidance through the album, the production is speaking as well as the music.
Oh, for sure. I get that, but I missed something. So that's
Right.
my bad. But
So listen to it
I
more.
love it. I love
7,000
sure.
more
it.
times.
no, for sure.
Get back in your time fucking
No,
capsule.
I'm
and
literally
listen
like
to
trying
it
to
7,000 more times.
I need to. All right, I'm interviewing someone and stop thinking about the music because I'm like trying to figure out. Anyway, what else do we got? There's so much more on this. There's 2 episodes. We've already done like the last song on the first episode. You know what? There's a vibe change. Oh my God, no! This is what I need to talk about.
Okay.
Sorry. So there's song Cause, and then the next song And Effect.
And Effect, right?
So Cause
And Effect.
Cause is dope to me, but Effect is probably one of the sexiest songs I've ever heard.
Word. That's
Yo.
crazy.
It's a sexy ass
dope.
song. It was not supposed to, I'm sorry, it's sexy as fuck. Like I was like,
It
that's
was-
a
it's meant
vibe
to
right
be
there.
that way.
Yeah, and then what's her name?
Johari. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking voice. I was like, bitch, you
could only
all the
fuck her
time
voice.
do that. Yes, please.
Only fucking voice.
How did that song come together? Were you just like, I fell into some pussy at one point, and I was like, I need to make this an effect song,
So,
like real quick.
look.
Like,
Look, I'll drop it to you like this. That song Cause, actually both of the songs are inspired by the same person, like down to the key of the song I decided to do it in is the first letter of her name.
nice.
So Cause just came about just talking about what I was feeling about her. And then An Effect was, well, we used to do this thing where we wrote like stuff to each other every day, whether it was like a little
Aw.
letter, a poem, just an affirmation, whatever. And that on that day I wrote that verse. And I was making that beat at the time I wrote the verse, and that's just how it came to be. And I just built on it. But I put them, they weren't together at first. But when I made them, and the fact that they were joined by this same person, the same
Yeah.
feeling, I just had to put them together. And the track list is also like a conversation as well, which is why
Yeah.
I say Cause and Effect.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
cool.
this is, going back to episode 1, then there's on Be Careful. Give her good dick and some empathy. This is how this nigga can be getting the bitches. No. I'm fucking with you.
Went
I'm sorry.
hard.
Damn.
Went
nah.
hard.
Damn.
I'm just saying. I'm learning. I'm talking. I'm enjoying
I
myself.
think we all learning.
I'm
Yeah.
probably a little
We all
drunk by
learning.
now.
enjoying
We all
myself.
learning
You know
right
what I mean?
now. You know what I'm
You got
saying?
anything? I'm sorry. I feel like I've been taking
No,
over.
it's
That's
all
dope.
good. You know, just fan out.
That's what I'm doing. That's
Open
why I
your
feel like
wings.
I'm gonna look back at this motherfucking video and be like, Tracy, you were just standing right there, bro.
I think part of it's because, you know what I'm saying, the half and half thing. You know,
Ah, shut the
I'm
fuck
just-
up. Just because I
Always
profess
come
my
back
love
to
for
the
a
milk
song.
and flour.
Exactly.
Can't let us be pancakes.
Every time y'all say milk and flour, I think about
milk and cereal, milk and cereal.
No, no.
I want some milk and cookies.
True.
No.
You got some milk and
Save the Last
cookies?
Dance.
I'm
when
sorry. Nope.
Q
Already
from
lost me.
Moesha
Already gone.
is
Nope.
like
Nope.
says to Sean Patrick Thomas or whatever the fuck his name is
already
about Julia Stiles. He goes, "She's milk, you're oil. Ain't no point in trying to mix."
Oh, true. Damn,
Oh,
I
that's how
remember
you finna
that.
spit.
Anyway.
Like fucking drop them bars, yo.
I mean, Fredro Starr did say
Yeah,
that
yeah,
line,
exactly.
so.
I said Q from Moesha, Fredro Starr from Onyx. Like,
Oh
let's,
my god.
anyway, let's just end it right here. Then I guess let's just make sure everybody knows. Do you have anything else for it?
Man,
I just feel like I'm being like a
Keep
groupie.
no, it's cool, man. Like, so I'm gonna just throw it out there.
Throw it
I'ma
out
just-
there.
I'm gonna just do this because I'm gonna just go out in the left field and just ask a fucking question.
Do it. It better be a good ass question the way you set that up, though, bro.
Set his drink down.
Who the fuck is?
Favorite album. Non-genre.
Non-genre
specific. I'm curious. Just like, what's your favorite? Like any time of day, any day, any season. It's like you can just put this on and it puts
That's a
you
stupid
in
question.
You're a stupid
Nah.
question.
To me, like it's like nigga, I can't like my favorite album like today.
I
It's
have
gonna
one,
be
though.
this. No, go
No,
ahead, bro.
I have one though.
What is
Go
it?
ahead,
What is
man.
your? I'm gonna put this on at any time.
It's not a stupid question. I just like to
Yeah,
combat
shut your
you.
fucking face.
Kinda Blue.
Ooh, Miles Davis.
I'll take it.
Smiles
All right.
Davis.
That's what's
That's
up.
dope. Yeah. Okay.
I can listen to the album
any time of day.
Anytime
Yes.
of motherfucking day.
Any
That's
time
what's
of
up.
day. I've been on the way to the hospital listening to that. Like,
Oh,
That's dope.
that's my shit.
Bro, I had a math teacher in high school who thought he was a jazz. He was a jazz pianist. Me and my other guy, I played trombone. My other guy played trumpet. We would go to his house and he fucking play, and we fucking just go over to his house and fucking jam. He gave me a CD, and I don't have this motherfucking CD no more. And I forgot the artist's name. I feel like a fucking shithead for even bringing it up without knowing this dude's name. But he did a scat album of Kind of Blue, and so he put lyrics behind "So What."
that's my favorite.
Cause if you guys know the story behind "So What," it's the whole "So What," right?
Yeah.
So what? Right? Okay. So they don't say "so what," but this motherfucker translated this "so what," and
Damn.
it turned out the story behind the song "So What" was when Miles was doing these like performances in New York at the time. He'd go to this fucking bar after the shows, and the dude behind the bar knew him, and he'd hook him up with drinks. And so the whole story was like about them being alcoholics and going to this bar after they did their shows and making this money and all these fucking loose women and blah, 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 blah. So if you read Miles' autobiography, he talks about this shit.
Damn.
So this dude he put lyrics to the "So What" like solos that were revolved around alcohol, women, and it was dope as fuck. So I'm glad I'm glad you said that,
I gotta
Miles
find
Davis
that.
shit, because I fucking love that fucking album.
That's
It's one of my
amazing.
fucking favorites, bro.
Hey.
So, salute.
Shout out, hey, shout out
Yeah.
to you for the fucking history behind that too, though, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Straight
great.
just put me on.
Miles
Right.
Davis is the shit, bro. Miles
The shit.
Davis was like one of the original like asshole musicians who's so good that people just say, okay.
Right.
He walks in this place and is like, it's too bright in here. Motherfuckers turn the lights down. They don't. It's like there's no question. It's like Miles Davis said it's too bright. We're fucking turning the lights down. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
I can't read my book. Fuck your book. Miles Davis said it's too bright. Like, he was the shit, man.
Shit, I'd be like, fuck that book. Miles Davis here. Shit.
Right? Like, he was the shit, man. Like, that's a salute. Salute.
All right, thank you, man.
Well,
That's
on
great.
that note, let's go ahead and end the episode because I mean, I feel like we could sit here and talk with you all day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to get you on for another episode.
Hell yeah.
Just where we
Yeah.
like, even if you have another project coming out, that's fine. If you don't, let's just fucking talk because I
Word.
feel like we got a lot that we could talk about.
Yes.
One thing I wanna go ahead and make sure that we cover is your social media, your like what you want the people to how you want them to follow you, how you want them to get in contact with you. So go ahead and let the people know.
LA VanGogh on Twitter, Instagram, LAVanGogh.com. And that's LAVanGogh. People throw a U in there.
I feel like I don't know why.
It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Right.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a U will just make it fancier or some shit. Nah,
Yeah.
it's Van Gogh. So
Yeah.
LA Van Gogh. Okay, that's what's up.
So LAVanGogh.com, at LAVanGogh on Instagram and Twitter. Damn, I don't have a Snapchat no more.
You don't need one.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Facebook, LA VanGogh Music, / LA VanGogh Music. And
Okay.
that's it.
And you can find all of his music on
Spotify, SoundCloud, L.A. space Van Gogh.
exactly. Don't forget the dot.
Don't forget the dots. It'll help.
Exactly. And you can find us on Facebook at
Through the Crate.
You can find us on Twitter at
Through the Crate.
You can find us at our own website at www.
Let me get
Through the Crate.
Oh,
And you can find us also at I said Facebook already.
Yeah.
You can find us on Tumblr at
Through the Crate.
You're not gonna let him get in or what?
There's one more though.
What's the one more?
Instagram, right?
At
Through the Crate.
Hey! Thank you so
Lit.
much, VanGogh. Again, we really appreciate it.
Bruh.
We'll dive into some more music
Yes.
whenever you got anything coming up. Whenever you want any type of platform to say whatever the fuck
Let us
you
know,
want to say,
bruh.
we here
Word.
for you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
I had a lot of fun.
Thank you guys. We had
Man.
a great time. Thank you. And we
And
out.
we
this
out.
motherfucker.
Thank you. God, I'm fucking waiting for that shit.
I
Where
know,
the fuck
my
you
bad.
at?
I fucked up.
Damn.
That was great.